Yeah. I think that the meeting recording is a really big one because as a PM, your role is so cross-functional, it is so collaborative, and you basically spend your life in meetings. And I think a lot of your job comes down to making sure people are aligned, people are in the loops, like things don't fall through the cracks. And so this agent that I just showed that like disseminates meeting notes through the right Slack channels would have been a godsend when I was a PM. So that's one. The other one is like the voice of the customer. So we have this agent that I love that like every evening it wakes up and it looks at all the support tickets that we received over the last 24 hours and it sends a digest in like the general channel on Slack of like the main things people are saying about the product, the main issues they're encountering, the main things that are confusing them, and so forth. And so it's just, very often in big companies in particular, product teams end up weirdly disconnected from the customer, which is like the only thing that matters. Like you should be in very, very close touch with your customer and your user. This just, you have no excuse left. You just receive this like couple of bullet points every day. It's like, hey, this is what's going on with our users. Like, and then it's very obvious all of a sudden if there is a big divergence between what your team is working on and what your customers are complaining about. Another one that I really like is like a virtual user. So this one basically, especially if you have an agent to record your meetings, you can then, every time you have a chat with a meeting, you can add it to a knowledge base. And then you can plug that knowledge base to another agent that becomes a sort of virtual user. So it's like your internal expert about customers and users in your company. And you can then share that agent with the rest of your team. And you can be like, hey, anytime you have a question about a user or like a feature or like how people use the feature or like what they don't like, how they think of competitors and whatnot, you can just talk to this agent. And finally, one last one that I like, and this is part of what we just announced this week, is like this ability for people to create agents and share them with the rest of their teams. And so one agent we have internally is like our PM has created it. It's like, engineers ping you all day, like asking you for like, hey, can I have help for like the copywriting? Like PMs are doing the copywriting right now at Lindy. Like, can I know what copy to put in this button, right? Or like, I'm facing this like micro product decision that we didn't define in the designs. Like, what should we do here? And so this PM created an agent that's basically like a mini her. It's like, hey, this is how I make product decisions. This is the principles I use. This is a bunch of examples of product decisions I've made before. And so anyone can talk to this mini PM every day to ask it. And then if the mini PM is not sure, it's like I'm sort of on the fence on this one, like my instructions don't really tell me what to do here, it actually loops the PM in. It's like, hey, Michelle, her name is Michelle. It's like, Michelle, like someone's asking me this question, I'm not quite sure what to say. Can you tell me? And then I'm going to add that to my own knowledge base. And so like the agent continuously self-improves. So I would say those are like the big ones I would use as a PM.
A couple other ones that come to my mind for a product manager, like potentially like a competitor updates agent, because there's way too many competitors to keep track of. So you could have an agent that is keeping track of these are the relevant competitors, message me or Slack me when I need to know about those launches. Yeah. I think that another agent that I often recommend that PMs build is an agent that is taking their millions of bug requests, Slack requests, email requests for features, and then putting those directly into a Jira backlog for them.
Right. Yes.
And even coming up with like the initial version of, hey, this is the user story. This is what I think the potential impact is. This is what I think the potential severity is, because you can actually train that agent on prior examples and it can just do the first version for you.
100%. I'll show you another example of this is sort of like the adjacent to like the virtual user or like the voice of the customer one that I just mentioned. We released, this one was a while ago, like we released a feature for Lindy to support email attachments. And so I was able to talk to that, like we call it like the Lindy brain, right? And so I was like, hey, we just released email attachments. What are some customers that have requested it? Give me their name, give me when we met them, and give me a couple of sentences on what they were building. And boom, here it sends me a list like, okay, these people, this is what they've requested email attachments for. And so we got like this entire list. We're going to have to like hide like the names, but like got this entire list of people and why they wanted